Britney Spears' ex-husband is raising the alarm in his new memoir, claiming her behaviour has grown alarming and warning the clock is ticking. But he's also making serious allegations involving their children, including that she once watched their son sleep while holding a knife. It's become impossible to pretend everything's okay. From where I sit, the clock is ticking and we're getting close to the 11th hour, he reportedly writes in that new book. Something bad is going to happen if things don't change, and my biggest fear is that our sons will be left holding the pieces. Now, Federline is framing this as an urgent intervention, a concern for Spears' mental state and the safety of their children. He also suggests the post-conservatorship period has seen erratic behaviour and argues the Free Britney movement may have made it harder for professionals to step in. But Britney's camp has pushed back, and they've pushed back hard. Her representative calls many of Federline's claims sensationalised and says she remains focused on her kids. Spears has denied watching her children sleep with a knife, calling the allegations untrue. You know, I've had so many concerns for this young lady. I do think there are some mental health issues. And, you know, I think her father ended up walking away from the conservatorship because of the pressure from the public. I don't think she was ready to be in charge of her own financials and everything like that. But the public pressure was so much, I really do think that's why he walked away. Let me first, I'm going to show you, I did a Google of Britney. I did a Britney Spears meltdowns, and I've done a Google. But first of all, let me take you through what has happened. So from the 2008 to November 2021, Britney Spears was under a court-appointed conservatorship, overseen by her father, Jamie Spears, and others. That arrangement gave them control over both her finances and her personal life, medical care, day-to-day decisions, etc. It endured for 13 years amid mounting criticism of its fairness and the autonomy it stripped from her. Now, the key turning point was in June 2021. Spears delivered a powerful public testimony in court describing the conservatorship as abusive and coercive. That fueled social media outrage. Later that year, a judge suspended her father's role and ultimately dissolved the conservatorship on 12th of November 2021. The hashtag Free Britney movement played a major role. Fans, celebrities, and public advocacy lifted the pressure on courts and lawmakers. The problem with this is people watching someone on their computer don't know the real story. Nana, can you pull up my computer, please? This is a quick Google search, Britney Spears meltdowns. You remember, she shaved her head and she attacked a car. I think that was a paparazzi following her and she attacked it with an umbrella. But she got married, had it quickly annulled because her parents stepped in. There's a stretcher there, look at that. You know, we've got all these scenarios where it was a problem. The lady was really going through some serious problems. And just because she makes a heartfelt plea and she talks about coercive control, it doesn't mean it wasn't needed. You know, everyone accused her dad of siphoning off money and things like that and forcing her to work. And look, I don't know the truth, but neither do you. I don't know his motivations, but neither do you. But I always felt the way people turned on him because we will support a star before we look at the reality of a situation. I remember when I was working at 9 News and word came through about Rolf Harris and the charges. And I was it was early days of Facebook and around 2009, I want to say. And Channel 9 had decided to put me in charge of their Facebook page. And basically, we reported the news about Rolf Harris. And the comment section was having a go at us for reporting it. How dare we? You're wrecking a man's reputation, despite the fact that he had actually been charged, which means that the police in the UK must have had evidence. And as we know, he ended up going to jail for that. There was a backlash against 9 News for reporting it. And this is the kind of situation we live in. A word from a celebrity is more important than facts. We talk a lot on this show about facts versus opinion. Your opinions are not facts. Now, the judge ended up siding with Britney Spears. I don't know why. Was it the social media campaign? Was it because she gave a great speech in court? I don't know the reasons why this judge did that. But the father could have fought it. But he was obviously at the end of his tether where he just went, I can't do it anymore. I'm going against her will. I believe I'm doing the right thing for her, but I'm walking away. That was the feeling I got at the time. And I've spoken about this. I think I've spoken about it on the Ben Rob and Robbo show, the TV Black Box podcast. This is not a new take from me. This is something I've always believed in. That the public, because they want something, doesn't mean it should happen. Britney Spears is a troubled lady. Her husband, her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, is raising concerns. He says an intervention is needed. And I think he got it slight wrong. If we're 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes to midnight, not the 11th hour. But, you know, we'll give him a pass for that. But I do think he's got the concern of his kids and her in her best interests. He's looking out for all of them. Maybe, just maybe, we ought to listen to the people around her and not listen to the lady herself who strips off on Instagram, does these bizarre videos that make headlines every couple of months. Maybe there is a problem, and maybe the wrong decision was made.
Fun, insightful interviews from a washed-up producer with nothing to lose. Night to night, but night to night, but night to night. It's good.